Hi everyone, Bernard here. Hope you're all very well. Welcome to my film and TV channel. And we have another little movie review today, and it's another animation, another family film, let's say, or obviously if you can think back to 1999, this is when this first appeared on our television screens, and this is the third film now starring a little hero, someone called Spongebob Squarepants, isn't it? It's the Spongebob movie, Sponge on the Run, this is called. We're going to have a look at that today. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notification. Make sure your notifications are set to public as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And please check all the playlists. I do a lot of movie reviews, TV drama reviews, look at posters, we do quizzes, etc, etc. Please, if you're new to the channel, have a good look round. Or if you're old to the channel and you forgot, please have a good look. Almost 670 videos on there. I mean, mainly films. I mean, I do obviously there's a lot of videos on football as well. That's my other love, and my football team, Manchester City. I do history videos and vlogs and city present stuff and quizzes on there as well. So if you or anyone you know might be interested in that, please point them in my direction. And please, any comments you can make about this film or anything else, it doesn't have to be about this particular film, please leave your comments. If you haven't got time for a comment, it's nice to know you're out there. It's nice to get views, etc. But little thumbs ups are always nice as well, just to know you're out there and appreciate. I try and entertain and inform as we go along and see what crops up. I sort of do. I have a little script, but I try and add little bits to it as we go through if anything springs to mind. Yeah, so the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, it's getting a U rating here in the UK. I'm not too sure what it is outside of the UK. I can't imagine it's got to be anything worse than that. Certainly won't be an R-rate, will it? R-rated film for the US, that's for sure. 91 minutes with about an 83-minute runtime. And of course, it's a live-action, computer-animated adventure comedy. Yeah, so you got a mix of live action with this, some little bit parts from a couple of well-known faces. And it's based, of course, on the animated television series Spongebob Squarepants. Directed and written by series developer and former series writer Tim Hill, who co-wrote the story with Jonathan Abel and Glenn Berger. It is the first film in the franchise to be fully animated in stylised CGI rather than the traditional 2D animation that you see on the TV and obviously a couple of the films. The regular voice cast of the series have reprised their respective roles from the previous series and the previous films, and it is the third theatrical film based on the series, following the first in 2004 and the second in 2015. We had, and this film is actually dedicated to creator Steven Hillenburg, who died in 2018. Perhaps a bit more on that later. The film was produced by Paramount Animation, Nickelodeon Movies and United Plankton Pictures. Of course it was, with animation provided by Micros Image. In February 2015, interview discussing the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water success at the box office, Megan Colligan, the president then of the worldwide distribution and marketing of Paramount Pictures, stated the possibility that there would be a third film, and it was a good bet that there would be. Obviously 4 or 5 years, I mean, it was due for release 2019, but obviously with all these various problems with COVID, etc., we had to wait 5 years from that interview. Yeah, and the film keeps a tradition of having a special star invited, and this time we have Mr. Keanu Reeves as a sage. He's okay. I'm not going to go mad over it. He's not the greatest. I perhaps preferred someone else, but he does an okay job as a sage. He's in it a few times. It's not a bit part. I thought he was just going to be in one 4 or 5 minute sequence, but obviously he does pop up every now and then, so he's okay. What's it about? Well, SpongeBob and Patrick. I do love Patrick. I'll go into it a little bit more. I'm not over familiar with SpongeBob, to be honest. I've not watched a lot of episodes. Not my demographic, is it, unfortunately? Yeah, but I do love Patrick, I must admit. He's currently my favourite based on watching this movie anyway. SpongeBob and Patrick embark on a rescue mission to save SpongeBob's pet snail, Gary. Yeah, Gary's okay. Bit slow, but he's okay. Who has been snailnapped. Yeah, of course he has, by King Poseidon, travelling to the lost city of Atlantic City. The movie also reveals the origin of SpongeBob and Gary's meeting for the first time as children. Yeah, again, a bit more of that in a moment. That always leads to, there's a spin-off series, isn't there, that's caused a little bit of consternation. And this film had a $60 million budget. That's no mean feat for a Disney film. I know you get that for Disney, don't you? But obviously for this sort of film, that's a big budget, $60 million. Is it any good? Well, Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, they quite like it. There's 10 critics have left a review. 7 fresh, 3 rotten. It's only averaging 5.4 out of 10 though, but it does have a 70% positivity. So obviously asked if it was positive or negative, obviously 70% obviously positivity rate with the 7 fresh and 3 rotten. It backs up that statistic, doesn't it? Audience rating, yeah, it's not too bad. Again, as I'm recording this, 211 scores have been left. It's getting 66%, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with anything over 6, as you know, in scores for these sort of things. And yeah, and if we go over to Internet Movie Database, which is my standard review that I have a look at, Joe Public, over 4,000 scores left on there and a certain number of reviews, which we'll talk about in a minute. 4,056 I'm recording this, and it's scoring 6.1 out of 10, so again, nothing wrong with that. A nice reasonable score for a film animation anyway. So just looking at some of the comments that have been left on Internet Movie Database by sort of just normal people like you and me. Right, here we go. Renewing SpongeBob with old formulas. Yeah, so I mean the plot, I mean how many plots can you have? I'm sure the it's not really about the plot, is it? Because it's not really based on you and me, the adults, is it, really? I mean, we can get some entertainment out of it, obviously, but yeah, I mean, renewing SpongeBob with old formulas, yeah, well, that's par for the course. Beautiful message, but a bad storyline. Again, that sort of hints back to what I just, the last comment, really, doesn't it? Someone else, it rehashes old jokes and events from previous episodes and movies. I say I'm a bit behind on this because I've not watched a lot of SpongeBob. But it is pretty cute and quite fun. Although it is kind of insulting to Hillenburg's memory, this is what I was saying earlier, he would not have been happy with this. Yeah, I think he was against spin-offs, wasn't he? So obviously we've got the, we do have the hints at the spin-off and versions of the spin-off, obviously with the camp side to this, which obviously might rear its ugly head as we talk a bit later. Someone gave it 4 out of 10 as a film, but 7 out of 10 as a SpongeBob film. Yeah, so that's possibly correct. Yeah, I mean, as a film on its own, and you never heard of the characters, yeah, it wouldn't rate very highly because of the simple plot. Someone else said, shame there is no plot, no story, no content, and disrespect on the creator's name, where in the end they say in memory of Stephen Hillenburg, as if trying to curse. So again, as I say, it has caused a few problems to Die Hard fans, I think. The first 10 minutes are actually enjoyable. After that, I wish I had quit at that moment, but just hoped it would get back on track. Actually, I thought it improved as it went along. I thought it had a bit of a lull at times, but yeah, I thought the ending was okay, and but say I wouldn't agree with that statement particularly. Someone else, I'm 23 years old. I'm still a fan of animation movies. I am. I'm 61. I'm still a fan of animation movies. This movie was mostly for kids, but not for adults, but I still liked it. Yeah, I mean, I could probably echo that, to be honest with you. And we go on, fundamentally flawed, worst in the trilogy, but still enjoyable. So they are sort of summing it up, isn't it? And I think I sort of echo that when I do my little statement in a minute. Animation style, enjoyable, everything else not. Yeah, great anime. It was great animation, but $60 million. Stunning, gorgeous looking animation, but thin on substance. So again, getting to the storyline and the plot. But as I said, we're not talking entertaining 21st century adults here. We're talking about entertaining children in the main, I would have thought. Spitting on the grave of SpongeBob, a bit harsh. Enjoyable and boring. Yeah, that's a good one. Strictly for kids. Yeah, absolutely. We'll finish with these couple of comments. I like the overall movie, but I just wanted to say why. The flashbacks, well, this is the camp element, isn't it? This spin-off series. I mean, they were nice, but super random. I think the only reason they put them is to promote the Camp Coral series, is it? Camp Coral. It just annoyed me a little. I use a little bit stronger word than that, but it just annoyed me a little, he put. So yeah, I mean, that's what the flashbacks are there for. That's exactly what it says on the tin. I think that's what they're trying to do, promote Camp Coral, obviously. And the last comment, the graphics were kind of nice, but a little messy sometimes. Yeah, I thought that. I wasn't watching it on the greatest definition TV, but yeah, I thought that the same. The characters look good, but obviously fake. Are they talking sponges and crustaceans all over the place? Yeah, I think they're fake. But then the Krabby, I don't think he was sort of saying it like that, but it's how it reads. But then the Krabby Patties look super realistic, of course. Well, yeah, I could have ate one myself. It just felt weird to watch sometimes, yeah. Right, movie game nostalgia, my thoughts, Bernard's thoughts on this. I mean, I've never ever in my life, I don't know how long the actual TV episodes are. I don't think they're very long. Are they 15 minutes? I just don't know. But I've never sat through a full episode. But obviously I've seen snippets over the years and found a little bit entertaining. And I find this film is probably why I've never sat down and watched a full episode. As I do have as I said, I do have a soft spot for animation. I still do. I still love a good animation film, but it is a bit all over the place at times, which is probably why I've sort of watched the TV thing and grown a bit confused by it and turned it off, to be honest with you. But beneath it all, sometimes there is some good stuff in it. I mean, I must appreciate, but you do have to watch it all to get the good stuff. It is messy at times, as people have commented there. Very weird, but isn't that ideal for kids? I think kids love that sort of thing anyway. They're not bothered about logic or holes in the plot or they've seen it before. I mean, when my kids were little, I must have watched the same programme 100, 200 times, with the same story. So they're not really worried about that. And with this one as well, I do like the element where there's just some zombies thrown in for good measure as well, which is nice, which is a sort of darker side to the tale, actually. It was a little, not scary, but it would scare a little bit little kids. There's nothing wrong in that, nothing wrong with giving little kids a scare. And even some Michael Jackson choreography was nicked there for the zombie scene, I think, as well. Yes, the plot isn't great. As I said, I've not watched much. I believe it's very similar to the first film's plot, and obviously, or an episode plot, obviously, where the Mr. Snail goes missing or gets taken. But yeah, it's not, the plot ain't great, but we get fun scenes and a nice mix of 2 or 3, as I say, normal character cameos as well from the Odd Human stars. And even its detractors, I think even the people who didn't like it in this, whether it's politically or obviously sticking up for the creator of the recent death, unfortunately, and obviously not looking at it as a good thing in his memory. But but I think the animation is very, very good. But again, for $60 million, I'm sure it all didn't go on Keanu Reeves' salary. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure we do get some good stuff. But again, as I said, someone did comment, it wasn't always perfect. It was some of it was a little bit iffy. I can't see much that would not entertain the kids, although those who've watched from being kids obviously might struggle a bit, which I think has been proven in what we've said before with the critique, because they're the ones generally complaining. I think some of them, not all of them, some of them do like it, and it's a change in animation as well, isn't it? But it doesn't always go down well with people. The end scenes, yes, were a little dragged out. And you know me about animations. I think 1 hour, 15 minutes is absolutely ideal for an animation, no matter who's doing it, whether it's Disney, Paramount or whoever. Nickelodeon, it doesn't matter. So for a length film, for the actual audience it's aimed for. So yeah, and 10 minutes cutting of this wouldn't have done it any harm overall, I don't think. So I think it's entertaining. It does polarise opinions, which it's bound to with the links to the various things, Camp Coral and what that means, etc, etc. But long-standing fans, yeah, is that what it's aiming at, or is it trying to get a new generation? It's trying to appeal to a new younger audience, the new Camp Coral generation. Let's put it that way. They've got a new thing coming out. They want a new audience for that, perhaps, and then perhaps not pampering to the original audience, which has been around for 20 years. Because let's face it, they've all moved on. We've all moved on. A lot of people not like me. A lot of people grow out of animation. I love animation. I like a good horror film. I like a good proper film, but I do like a good animation as well. So yeah, perhaps it's pandering to that new younger audience for the Camp Coral generation, let's call it that. So I think they've probably done what they wanted to do with this, and I think that's fair enough to say. I quite enjoyed this from looking from a person who hasn't watched much of SpongeBob. So I did quite enjoy this. So I've looked at it and scored it accordingly, as I say. Obviously, if you're more dyed in the wool, you'll see probably things that you don't like about this. But I quite liked it. I think it's entertaining, and for children who are either into SpongeBob already or want to be introduced to SpongeBob, I think it's a pretty good effort. So I'm going to give it an okay score. I'm going to give it 6.5 out of 10. Which is a bit better than watchable if you know my scores. And the poster, well, I've there's been a couple of posters up there, and the back view of our two heroes and the front view, etc., etc. But yeah, I think any poster they bring out for this, if you're obviously for the kids now, as you say, for this new Camp Coral generation, I think they're a worthy poster. But it's nothing special, is it? But it's nice to have. I'd love to have one on my wall behind me. So I'm going to give the poster 6 out of 10. I'm going to give the movie victory over the poster today. I think it's pretty standard fare for what we see. It could have been a bit more packy with people in it and characters in it, etc. And no images of the human stars. I noticed in that, which would have been nice as well. So I'll give it a bog standard 6 out of 10. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about the film. 6.5 out of 10, and the poster 6 out of 10. Please let me know what you think. And as I say, please forgive me if you don't agree. It's all opinions. As I said, I'm not a big watcher of SpongeBob, so I've watched it with a fairly new eye, if you like, and I did like most of what I saw. But I said I'm putting my kids' head on. I think they will appreciate this film because it is a bit wacky at times and does lose its way a couple of times, but not in a way that would stop kids watching it. It'd be a great watch for them to, you can leave them happily watching that while you're doing other things, or watch it with them, whatever you want to do. Anyway, please check my links on screen. If you follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I do check every couple of days and follow and friend everyone back. And you can check out my little website, moviegamenostalgia.com, for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 1990s and 2000s when I used to have my little video shop in Manchester. And of course, some board games on there as well. So if you can check that out, I'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Please, whatever you're going to do with the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other until we meet again on another film and TV vlog. Or if you're interested in the football, we meet on there. Please, this is Bernard telling everyone, asking you all to please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.